a company that deals in the supplies of school uniforms, and also a director of a school that is called Toto ASIO Nursery and Primary School in Ngora. It's basically my privilege and honor to be part of this program and to enlighten the viewers, to let you know my story, how it started from what I call very small to today a recognized enterprise that is literally leading supplier in the eastern Uganda that supplies uniforms, and then owning one of the most beautiful and admired schools in Testament. And therefore, we shall not waste any more time, but just to tell you, how did Simotech start? What came to my mind to start a business? Most of us start businesses because we need money. I know that challenges push you to start a business. There are few people who just be comfortable and like, let me start a business because I have everything. But just like any other person, there was need that I had, and I needed to satisfy myself by getting what I needed. So how did it come that I started a tailoring school or tailoring business? Because there are many businesses I would say there that one would have admired to start. But personally, I said, let me do a tailoring thing. Before you start any business, you need to do market survey to know what is needed in that community. You just don't wake up and start anything because you're seeing a friend has started a bakery, you also run for bakery. Because you see a friend is selling water and you think everyone will drink that water. No, you have to do your market survey. So I surveyed around my locality and looked at the tailors that were in that place, looked at the number of schools, both private and government schools that were in that place. And then I was like, okay, if it's a restaurant, will it work? I realized no, it is basically this boarding schools. And so when I realized I need to satisfy the demand of the community, and that was making of school uniforms. So that's what I went in for. Wow, how did it start? It was not a simple thing, because when you are starting business, people don't know you, and you also don't know them. So you need to sell yourself to the people whom you want to supply. So I started with one sewing machine, just one basic sewing machine, which was even manual, not even electronic machine. And today, when I look at where we are, what we own, it's really something that I'm proud of. That one sewing machine, I had to rent in a veranda. I had to rent in somebody's veranda. So every morning, the tailor he got, because me personally, I'm not a tailor. So I had someone to do that on my behalf. So someone would carry a sewing machine from my house, where I had rented, to the veranda, and they do work. And then in the evening, we carry back the machine home. That was a daily routine. I learned many things. I was like, okay, since I really want to make this small thing to be one of the biggest things around here, I had to look for people who could give me knowledge. So I got an opportunity at that time where someone introduced me to Enterprise Uganda. And I want to thank Enterprise Uganda so much that I'm sure without the trainings that you have given me, I would not be what I am today. So I basically attended the first training, and I remember Enterprise Uganda gave me a book called A Ladder to Success by Napoleon Hill. That was a gift that I was given because I was one of the best participants during that training. I participated well in all sessions that they had requested. So I was given that book, and that book motivated me. I was like, if I have gone for this training and I've met big people, but I was among the best performers here, then I can make it. So when I came back from there, I realized I need to rent up a place, a room whereby I would have this machine permanently there and maybe add more machines. But the first thing I looked at was, how do I advertise myself within that area? So I remember I could go to Mbale to shop, and maybe you'd go with 100,000 shillings and be proud that you're going to do shopping for uniforms. So I would shop materials, just 100,000 in meters. I used to shop in meters, maybe even in yards. You go, they cut for you a yard of green, a yard of purple, a yard of black, those materials. Then I could come and display them, spread them to look like bed sheets around the shop, so that people think that the shop is busy and big. Yet there was literally one machine only. So we started slowly. I decided to venture into schools. And let me go to a school and present myself as a professional tailor who can deliver a service. I remember the first school I went to in Ngora is called Ngora Boys. Ngora Boys, that time I had a teacher, and when I reached there, the teacher just told me that you have come at the right time. The person who has been supplying with informs here has been really disturbing. He doesn't deliver informs on time and so forth. It's like, are you ready to measure even? Wow. I wasn't ready to measure because I didn't have a tape measure. I didn't know even how to measure. I told him that, okay, let me just run back shortly to pick my tape measure and the book. So I went back to the shop and I picked the tailor, the boy I was employing at that time. So basically, when we reached there, we measured for the uniform. After measurements, the man told me, when are you going to deliver? I told him, give me 1 week. But I also told him that at least he give me some deposit. And then that is how my luck began. He gave me some small money, like 250,000 that time. To me, that was the first time I handled that money in business, and that was March. The next morning, I went to Mbale. I bought material for starting that work. I came, I motivated my tailor. I told him, let's do this work, that you get more work. So we did that uniform. That was the first. Within 1 week, I delivered uniform. And tell you what, that's the time the man paid me my first 800,000. I already started seeing success. I was like, if I've just within 1 week, I've made 800,000, what else do I need? So that money, I had now to put in plan. You know, sometimes people, when they get their first money, they rush in spending it. They start buying luxurious things that you don't need. So for me, I said, no, let me go and add 2 more machines. So I went and I bought another ordinary sewing machine and what they call an overlocking machine using that money. Because now I needed quality. When I do work, I needed to overlock it so that it's really fine finishing. So when I came back with those 2 machines, it means I needed now to do what? To hire another tailor. Another tailor. As you have seen, I said that you must have the power to begin. For me, I have that power. Oh, and I had it and I still have it, the power to begin the business. Some people begin, like you see how I began, and then when they touch the first 800, they give up. They think they have already what? Achieved. After the power of beginning, you must have the power to continue. And that is the power that drives us more, that you have started. How do you continue? So in my process of continuing, I had the second tailor. Now I had the 2 tailors. Those are 2 machines plus 1 overlocking machine. We started doing work. I now moved to a school called Ngora Girls Senior Secondary School. Basically, one thing I have to tell you, when I get to you that I want uniform, I look at your uniform and I even ask you, would you mind us amending the design of this uniform so that I own it? Now, when you say that, okay, how would you want this uniform to look like? I give you some drawings that if we would change this uniform to look like this and this, I think it would be more attractive to the students and even to the parents. And you know, some students just admire the color and the fashion of the uniform, and that brings them to school. So it means I don't just only get contract from you, but I also try to add value. Because now if you reach like in Ngora, I have changed most of the uniforms. Most of that Ngora girls uniform used to look funny. They used to give them even nickname. It was a nickname they used to call students from Ngora girls. But since I changed the design, the fashion, everything has changed. So Ngora girls gave me work also. I made sure we worked on the uniform and delivered it. And it's the first time I earned 1.6 million. My friend, when you're starting a business and that's the money you are getting, 1.6, that was miracle to me. Unfortunately, the 2 tailors I recruited, people started telling that, oh, you are making this young man get rich very fast. You either leave him or tell him to add your money. But you know, uniform business is seasonal. It's not like this you're going to run from January to January. So one morning I get to work, I get guys seated, And I said, hey, why are you not doing work? They're like, we want increment in salary. If not, we are leaving. I'm like, but this is so urgent. You have literally not finished even 6 months. And you want to leave this work? They said, yeah, if you don't add money, we're leaving. You know, people are told talk to them that you cannot go and start your own things. So I told them that, you know, if you left me now, you will not be successful because you haven't learned anything from what I am doing. I have the vision for this place. And if you worked here longer, you will learn how to manage business. Because now for me, I was proud because I had a training from Enterprise Uganda. I was reading lots of books on business. Every week, literally, I would buy a book and read. So I could understand how things move and the people I would interact with. So I talked to them. They said, no, want increments. I told them, okay, let me think about it. So I went back to my mentor, the person who mentored me to start these businesses. I told him the story that, oh, today is a bad day. My staff's like, they're not continuing if I don't add them money. He just told me that you are the boss. You make a decision. This night, sleep over and meditate about it. Think about how you want the business to run. If you calculate and find that adding them money you can sustain it, the business can continue. And if you don't, you fire them and look for another solution. So that night I was like, okay, I think if I added the money now, and yet I was paying them monthly, not even on piecemeal, it was monthly. You know, when you're starting business, you will make these mistakes. You don't know the mode of payments. For us, I used to think the payment is only done either monthly, not knowing that you can even pay them per piece that they have done, and you continue. So the morning I went to them, we had a meeting. I told them, I am not adding money, but if you work next year, we can add money since this is just the beginning. They said no, and I'm telling you, they left. You see how a baby business has started losing workers. You just literally starting, people are leaving. Wow. So I was like, what do I do? I very fast as a business person, as an entrepreneur, I was like, okay, I will not give up. I want to go and look for workers, not from my region now. So the next day I went to Mbale because that's where I studied during my secondary school. But I remember I used to go to Mbale market and meet tailors, and then they would make for me uniforms. So I went to those tailors. I told them, okay, I finished school, but I'm doing a tailoring business, but I'm looking for people who can work for me. They're like, for us here, we're too many, so getting work in the market here is not easy. So if you're giving us work, we are very happy with that. I'm like, good. So I told them that the condition is you are not going to work from here. You are going to do work from Nora, where I stay. They're like, for us, we are very okay. Do you have machines? I'm like, yes, I have. When are we coming? I'm like, okay, let me go back and prepare where you're going to be sleeping. So I moved back. I rented the room where they would be sleeping, and then that place had no power. So because for them, like for us, when we come, we want to work day and night. So I bought a small generator. My machines were manual, so I need to buy what? A generator. So when I bought generator, I had another contract with some other secondary school, and that was also big. Because basically, tailors are known to be stayed on the veranda, waiting for customers to come. But I want to tell you, if you want to start business and a serious business, you need to get out of the box and think using your brain. And even look at things not using the eyes, but use the brain for seeing. So for me, I said, I want to solve the problem. I'm going to follow the customer to his home and tell them I can do this for you perfectly. So the tailors basically came in. I took them to take measurements. And you see, when you are taking them, make sure they are dressed like professional tailors. So I had to first buy for them t-shirts and branded them Simotech Investments. And you know, my motto for Simotech is like, quality is our blood. So behind that is written, quality is our blood. So when you reach there, they took measurements, we gotten back, and then I started thinking, I'm like, okay, where do Mbale people shop from? It's Kampala. But I want to tell you, I didn't know Kampala. I was basically a local boy from Kiere, from Serre district, who moved to Ngora. And then from Ngora, Kumi, and Kumi, I got into Mbale. And now I was like, the money now I'm starting to get, I can now buy a roll, no longer meters or yards. So I said, I need to go to Kampala. But who is going to introduce me to Kampala? I had a friend who was a student in Chambogo University. I called him that, do you know Kampala very well? He's like, for us town boys, we move around here. Do you know where they sell materials from? He's like, yeah, we can go and look for that place. I moved with the night bus, came to Chambogo. I picked my friend there. We came to town, moved around surveying, getting prices, connections, and like that. So I told them that, yeah, I've come to buy some material because I had the pieces that I wanted. So I showed them this is what I want. I am now moving from Mbale to Kampala. So I bought some rolls, moved back to Ngora. The tailors did me well. They're like, for us, give us a deposit so that we send to our women. I said, that's good. So I gave them some deposits, and then they started doing work. The neighbors started coming like, what happened? The other boys left. We thought this guy is going to collapse. But again, it's like, it was just an eye-opener for him. And as I told you, you must have a power to begin and a power to continue. In this, I insist that sometimes when you feel like giving up, that should be the day you tighten your belt, like, no, I'm not giving up. Because you should always look back. Where have you come from? Where do you want to go? What are your intentions? It will keep you moving. So we did work. We did work for Simotech Investments, like for that school. I delivered again on time. People were like, now, this is the right guy to do uniform. So they started recommending, telling schools, for us now, uniform is not a problem. There is a guy who does his work faster. But since me, I wanted to grow. I told myself, I have conquered Ngora. Am I remaining in Ngora? No. I want to go to Kumi. Kumi is a bigger town than Ngora. So I went to Kumi. I said, let me look for work. Because now, that time, compassion projects had just started. And there were many. And I went there. I'm like, where do you get uniforms from? They're like, okay, we get uniform from Kampala. I'm like, but I'm a neighbor here. I can supply these uniforms to you. So they're like, okay, if you can do it, how fast can you do it? I'm like, depending on the number of people that or students you want me to make the uniform, and then we discuss. So after discussion, the question was, oh, where are you located? I'm like, in Ngora. They're like, no. How do you take work from Kumi to Ngora, a small district? How can we be sure that you're not a con man who has just come to get our money and disappear? Whew. I'm like, no, I can do it. Another question was, do you have an account for the business? Because for us, we don't pay you with cash. We use a check. Yeah. I was dead again. The business has started, no account, nothing. I'm like, okay, I don't have an account, but can't you pay me cash? If really I do for your work, quality work, and deliver at the right time. They're like, first show us where the location is. I told them, I just come here. I'm starting another branch in Kumi. I'm telling you. I told them, give me only 1 week to make sure that there is an office here and operational. I left that place. I came to town looking for the best place I could be. And I wanted a strategically located place where everyone passing would see. So people coming from Soroti, going to Mbale, Kampala, I wanted them, as they pass, they see a signpost of Simotech Investments, dealers in uniforms. People coming from Mbale going the other side should also be able to read my signpost. So your location matters in a business. Yesterday, you had the bread house telling you he wants a location whereby when you are getting out of the taxi going to your home, that's where you find that bread company. So even me, that thing has been in me, my location. So I made sure I got a house strategically located, vanished it well. I put in just one machine first because I wanted the other people to come and see the location. So I went back, I told them that, okay, we are now on, the place is here, we can do work. So they're like, okay, since we urgently need uniform, we shall pay you cash. Opportunity had already knocked, and I was prepared for it. So they gave me 2.5 million, my friends. I was like, this is what? The money has started coming. So when I got that money, I told myself, what does it take to register a company? Because now people are talking about paying using a check, and I've been just a manual man. So I moved to the district. This time there was a guy I was used to, was an auditor. I talked to him that, okay, how do they open a company? He told me, I just need like 800,000 shillings. I'll do all the paperwork for you. I'm like, do it faster because I need it. So I didn't know whether the money was the genuine money or you had overcharged me. All I wanted was I need to open a company now, not just a name called Simotech. So he told me, you first write for me the name that you want. I wrote for him the name, whatever I wanted. Okay, means like, okay, give me this week, I will call you. He did his paperwork. He just called me that, okay, documents are ready for signing. Do you have a partner? I'm like, I don't have anybody. I'm a sole proprietor. Like, no, with company, we can't do things like that. You need another person who is going to be a signatory to this. I said, can I get my young brother? He's like, yeah. So I picked my young brother. I think he was in senior 3 to be a signatory. So they gave him shares, like, how that process, how it is to register a company. Company was fully registered now. We started doing work now under registered company, Simotech Investments Ltd. I did that first compassion work perfectly, timely, and then quality. Because the people were like, hey, but you do very good work. I'm like, yeah. Because personally, I am not a tailor, but I have an eye on what I want. I supervise my staff and encourage them that when we do well, when we do good work, work will also follow us. But if you just do things rushingly, you may not have work for tomorrow. Because for us, an ongoing concern is what we need in business. Continuity. How do you make sure that you remain relevant year in, year out? So after doing that, I shifted now everything to Komi because now this was a bigger place. I set up machines. I added more 2 machines to make 4 plus the other one, just as the overlocking machine, 5 machines. And then those people told me that now we want t-shirts. I had never printed t-shirts, but I used to see people with the printed t-shirts. I'm like, okay, that's good. So always don't be selfish. You share the information. So I shared with these tailors that, okay, these people want us to make t-shirts. Oh, do you know anybody in Mbale who prints t-shirts? They're like, we have them. We have them who print t-shirts. So good. So still, they gave me the contact to the guy. I went and I met the guy. But me, I told him, I have work, but you're not going to do it in Mbale. You're going to come and do it in Komi now. Because I wanted my place to look busy. And, always customers are funny. They go to a place where they see that other people are flocking. That place where everyone moves in. That's where they also want to go. And then I always think for that, how do you display your products in the shop? I have also helped many people in order to train them on how to display their products in the shop. Sometimes you have a big shop, but it is scattered. You cannot even know where this item is. So when you enter my place, the fact everything is positioned in the way that immediately you enter, it's eye-catching. So I started doing that. I wanted these tailors to come, this guy to come, not to print from inside, to print from out, so that whoever is passing, he is seeing that this place is busy. After even if we finish printing at 7 o'clock in the morning, I make sure those t-shirts are hanging out up to like 1 or 2 o'clock, so that people see that this is a very serious place. And that attracted people. I started thinking for coming, I want a t-shirt, I want to this. So we entered now from just making uniforms, we're now going to t-shirt supply. I got my network from Bale. I got from Kampala. Also, in those days, Uganda House used to have, Nightingale used to be in Uganda House. And that was like their wholesale shop. Yeah, if you remember, people have been in Kampala. Uganda House used to house Nightingale down there. And they had many things. And I'm telling you, the t-shirts were cheap. Yet for us down there, we used to know that they're very expensive. So I got that connection. I could come to Kampala, buy my t-shirts. We go and print them. That was a nice day. From nowhere, now I started discovering new things. I'm like, okay, when you go to Kampala, you're going to get quality shirts that are already made. So instead of me making shirts and the speed would be slow, I can go buy shirts on wholesale. I just come and print them and supply. So in that process, I discovered a company in Kampala. You have seen shirts written Sebuko. Sebuko is a big company that deals with the shirts and other things. So I came there, I negotiated with them. They're like, wow, that's a good one. So I could now buy my shirts on wholesale, take to my place, brand them, and supply them. Those who just want to buy the ones that are just plain, they can also what? Pick and buy. So when I continue moving on, one of my friends whom I used to buy material from told me that, I think you're really a big guy that side, because for us here, we can tell who is big in a region, because depending on how much you buy from us. I told him, yeah, I'm trying my best. So he told me, which kind of machines are you using for producing this work? I told him, I just use ordinary machines. Like, no, since you have supported me a lot, I'm going to link you to some people in Kampala who sell electronic machines. I'm like, this is a big chance again. Wow. So he gave me contact. The guy sent some pictures of those machines. I'm like, for me, I'm ready to buy them. That time, electronic machines used to cost like 600,000, 650,000. So people you meet, as long as they discover that you are a reliable person, you're a trustworthy person, when they give you on credit, you pay timely, they also will make sure they sell you out. That's what I've discovered. Do your work. When you get good things on credit, please pay. If there is any delay, communicate. And I have this principle. Even my staff, my workers, I tell them, don't buy things from all shops. Have one shop where one time when you are broke, you just go to them and you be credit worthy. So even when I start dealing with you, I don't want to change anyhow, because I know that tomorrow I may need something urgently. I don't have money, and this is the person whom I run to. So that has been my principle. So that guy, because of my being diligent to him, buying from him all the time, he referred me to another person in Kampala. I got electronic machines, but my tailors did not know how to use these machines. Of course, I didn't know how to use them. So I told them that I'm going to get one role whereby you're going to make these uniforms using electronic machines, and these uniforms I'm going to give out for free. I have some kids whom I see, they go to school and they're doing badly. So just make sure, even if you make mistakes, I don't care. I'm giving them out for free. So they learned, they perfected, like, boss, this is the best machine to use. We have been wasting time. I'm like, you see? So I bought the electronic machines. We started using them. And I'm telling you, quality has just improved. Speed is just perfect. I conquered Kumi. Kumi was a gone thing to me. I told them that, can we be getting work from Mbale? They're like, yeah, there's some schools in Mbale that's used to bring work to us. You get their contacts. So I entered Mbale. You see how I was now moving. Ngora, I've conquered Ngora, Kumi, done. I've moved to Mbale. Mbale, I got some schools. We started doing work, t-shirts, uniform, and other things. Then, my account is in Stanbic Bank. So there was a manager in Stanbic who went to Kapchora, and she opened a secondary school in Kapchora. So she called me, like, okay, this is Simon, the director of Simotech. I'm like, yes. I know you used to do a lot of transactions with us, and you told me that this is you do deal in uniforms. Can you come to Kapchora? I'm like, oh, I am coming there. I had never known going to Kapchora. I didn't know how bad the roads are, the terrain there. And I told her I'm coming. When I reached there, she told me that I've opened a secondary school here and I want quality. You are going to supply from stockings to sweaters, everything. I'm like, God, thank you so much for this opportunity again. So had never done sweaters. I even had never thought I would progress to sweaters. But for me, I don't say no. Because I know there is always somebody who is doing that thing that you're not doing. So you need just to network with that person, and it helps you do it so that you don't lose business. So I told that person, yes, I costed for other things. I'm like, but sweaters, I'm going to send you a quotation. So I came back to my place. I talked to someone. I had friends like, how do we get sweaters? Because I don't have machine for sweaters. He told me that, okay, if you go to Kampala, Chiembe there are guys there who do sweaters. I said, that's okay. Now that I know Kampala, I can also move around town. So I went there. I got some guy, Jose Embroidery. It's a big guy in Chiembe there. And if you tell him about me, he'll tell you that guy. We know him. He's good. So I talked to Jose, gave me his quotations, the prices for sweaters. I'm like, but I am a supplier. So the first thing I want is timely delivery. I am going to make sure if you do for me this work on time, in time, I will always give you big work. It's like, good. So I did my quotations. I sent to the other lady. She told me, do the work. Oh my God. Now you moved to just doing other uniforms. I moved to the shirts. I told you, t-shirts, printing. Now I'm on sweaters. I did the sweaters. The man did very good work. I delivered. That was the eye opener for Captura. She told me, Simon, you've done for me good work. There is a big primary school here. It's a boarding school. I want to connect you to that school. She connected me. I did work in that school. I got to work in another college in Captura. Captura was a done deal now. It was a place that I could go, relax, and make my money from there. So we've moved. Captura is done. We came back. I'm like, Soroti is big. I need Soroti seriously. Since now I bought more machines. The machines were now many. And then the staff had grown. You have those who just iron uniform, packing them, because I could put them in caveras, pack them as I deliver them. So I attacked Soroti. There was a girls' school in Soroti. I went there smartly. I'm like, I deal in uniforms, and I can do for you the best work. Of course, people, when they see the first make, but can you do it? Like, first make samples. Tell them, okay, give me what you have here. I do samples for you. When they tell you to make samples, my friend, that is where all the energy should be. Give them the best sample. I did my samples, ironed them well, packed them. By the time I reached school, the guy's like, you mean a person from Tesla can do this good work? I thought this is from a factory. I'm like, for us, quality is in our blood. And what has kept me going is being consistent with the quality. Don't compromise, not even. Actually, I treat all schools the same. Either it's a small school or it's a big school, you will get the same service. All of them must be treated equally. You know, sometimes people tend to treat the other bigger business companies like with more respect than these others. It is these small ones that make you grow to the big ones. And you also need to make sure that the small one also grows as you give them the best service. So I moved on. Soroti one school conquered. What goes on? And you know, I now said I also need to improve myself. So I told myself, I think I need to buy a vehicle and brand it Simotech Investments. People in Teso have known a small vehicle, white. That was my first vehicle, and written Simotech. And that's why now when you come there, my name is Simotech. They don't know Simon, they don't know Inyalio. They say, Simotech, Simotech, come here. Because that vehicle could move everywhere. And its work was to supply uniforms. And I could just pack it in any place that people just read. Simotech Investments, dealers in school uniforms. And people just see that in the eastern part of the country, like, for us, people know that all big things come from Kampala. So if people from Kampala, you spoiled us from the other side. But some of us have demystified that. We want people to know that even from the down there, even from Moroto, even from Katakwi, a big thing can be done. So I told you, power to begin, power to continue, and power to finish must be in the three things in your mind. If you have the three things flowing that I have started, I have to continue. How do I keep relevant in the game? How do I make sure that people don't, computers don't come and I'm washed out? So you must be very swift in changing. So now, even if anybody wanted to do a tailoring, because there are many people doing it, when the person enters and they see them using local machines, for me, you come to my place, I'm using electronic machines. Hey, there you cannot again compete. So let's move on. How did they go to? Let's go to sweaters now. So I started interacting with that gentleman in the Kampala. I'm like, can I also buy these machines? Like, yeah, those machines are there. You can buy them. Because me, I assured him that I have a lot of work that I cannot finish. I will always be bringing work to you. So I now ventured into the first sweater making machine in my place. That was big. So I told one of the boys, the first person I employed to do that sweater work, I'm like, yes, we have the house where you can put this machine. And I know the machine is heavy, but we shall always struggle to carry it out and make the sweaters when everyone is seeing that sweaters can be made from here. Whoever passes sees that sweaters are made from here. People could just come and stand to watch because they had never seen how they make a sweater. So that was already my marketing strategy. You display your service and people see it. So we moved on. The Simotech Kumi has grown big. I said, now let me have another branch in Mbale. So when you go to Mbale market, I have a place there where we still make what? Uniforms from. Now, I told you that I'm a director of a school called Toto Nursery and Primary School. So one day he just said, no, I need to diversify. And I tell you, it was the best decision that I made, that let me diversify, not only dealing with what? Uniform, but start a school. Because I used to go to schools, I would hear challenges, proprietors complaining about challenges of uniform, challenges of running the school, issues like that are in the schools. But I'm like, that school is a business, and I'm seeing it's a big business. And if it's uniform, that is always a problem that people don't deliver. Me have a company, meaning my school will have uniform ready by December. By the time people are coming in January, there is already what? Uniform. So I moved around my place in Nora. I saw there used to be there was an abandoned building there for Church of Uganda. It had been there for years and people were not using it. So I'm like, I think I can start from here. I went to negotiate with the church. I'm like, I want to rent that place. I want to start up a school there. We negotiated. They said, yeah, you are very welcome. These are the terms, pay us like this. I'm like, okay. So I came to my accountant of Simotech Investment. I told him I wanted to do for me the analysis. How can this primary school take off? How should we start it? Who are the people to employ? What strategies are we going to put to attract what? Parents. And to make people feel like this is the best place. So that I started with the accountant, we moved around, he told me what to do, he wrote things down. Like if we did this, I think this will work, makes things go. But you may be surprised, a tailoring person might have accountant. Most people don't succeed because they are the accountants, they are the marketing managers, they are the suppliers, they are the procurement officers, they're everything. So you collapse with your business. For me, I have put systems, I'll put structures that run, that even when I'm in Kampala here, right now, actually, I've gone far now because I have CCTV cameras in Simotech, that even when I'm in Kampala, I just look through my phone and I be seeing what they are doing. I see that staff has opened, the work is going on, there's nothing bad. So you have to go with technology. That's how far now by the way I have gone. It's ordinary. You think it's a tailoring thing, just ordinary, but no, I have put it in that way. So we did that analysis and said, okay, we're going to start. So by November, that month, I started moving around, cleaning the place very well, tried doing a lot of painting. Officially, I talked to the inspector of school that I'll be here, that I want to start a school here, but allow me start in this small way. I have a vision. I'll make what? I'll make this school be one of the biggest schools around. They're like, yeah, you start. We shall not give you hard time. Just make sure you have qualified teachers and so forth. So I said, good. How do I go? I did the t-shirts. I printed enough t-shirts that for every person who comes to get admission, that kid is given a t-shirt there and then for free. So as I would charge you 10,000 for admission, you don't know that you have just bought what? A t-shirt. And that would motivate any kid that, wow, you just go there, get admission, you already have a t-shirt. That was good. So I used border borders. I gave t-shirts to border borders, and I told them, help me make sure you move around. Every customer you are carrying to take to town, tell them there's a school coming. But every parent you bring to pay admission, If the transport is 1,000, the parent will pay you and also refund you what? The 1,000. Be aggressive. When you start something and you want it, be aggressive. Be hungry for it. Feel like you are late. You do things with that mind that I think I'm late. I should have started yesterday. Why is that I did not start yesterday? So give back the boda bodas. They can 1,000 for transport. They give them the t-shirts, and I'm telling you, boda bodas did wonders. After today, I love boda bodas so much. I know that they can destroy you, they can build you. So you see that politicians use boda bodas a lot because they're the ones who can talk well about you. So I started the school. The year opens and I had 75 kids coming for starting. I'm like, wow, 75. But I have to pay staff. I started from nursery to primary 7. By then, I want to take this seriously. Every person who comes to me for advice on how to start a primary school or a school, I tell them, don't start a complete school. Start with nursery. Nursery school gives you money and it takes little money from you. You employ few staff, and the parents who have children in nursery diligently pay because they don't want a nursery kid to be sent back home for fees. So that's what I always tell people, that start with it, nursery, maybe you have to pay one, then keep moving slowly until you reach somewhere. But sometimes you give your advice, people don't accept. When they start, then they start crying, like, oh, I wish I'd taken the other advice. Because these 7 years and more money, and the P7 is a demanding class. So why don't you grow with your business? Grow with it from nursery, move to P1, P2, like that. And by the time you are sitting candidates, you will have the best. So school started like that. I put in my culture. I had one time listened to one guy who I think owned a school at a Kampala and something back. And that person, when he was on TV, to say that one, what keeps him relevant in these schools, he knows the pupils by name. Do you know that I know almost 90% of my kids by name? I just see, I say, oh, Mike, how are you? Good morning. Oh, Okelo, how are you? So I know these kids by name. Then he told me, I listened to him one time on radio and TV. It was like, he has a shoe polish and a shoe brush at the gate. And as kids enter school, they polish their shoes and they get in. So those small things play a very big role in seeing the continuity and the success of your business. I teach my kids how to greet. In my school, it's unique. When anybody reaches school, there's a way kids humble themselves. They put their hands in front and then they bow, they greet. So people keep asking, but how do you do this? Like culture. Put up a culture in your business. Yesterday, you listened to some guy saying that he has a manual. Every department has a manual. Culture is part of your manual. Culture is part of it. So every kid knows this is how to greet. This is how to walk out. This is the principles that are there make every parent who just comes to admire. I'm telling you, the school that started small, I bought land, I have constructed a school, and I always believed in the environment. Every time I would be coming to Kampala, there are schools that I admire on the way. There is a school around, I think, called Forest Hill. The way it is surrounded by trees. Then when you come to Center, you see how the school is surrounded by trees. That is what I always wanted, an environment that when you enter into, you feel like you're at home. If you come to Toto Nursery Primary School in Ngora, the trees are the ones that usher you in. This is a village school which has pavers. People come to my school and like, where did you put this school here? This school is supposed to be in Kampala. I'm like, no, even here, there are human beings who need a good environment. So soon people are like, this school, people are going to hold the weddings in your school because I plant the flowers like it's my home. The compound is so attractive. The trees are growing nicely. And that is it. Today, as we talk, from 75 kids, this year, we are closing with 550, but 300 in the body. The other ones are day scholars. And most of the day scholars are just nursery kids, P1, P2. But the other classes, we have, they are borders. The staff that I have, I make sure they look like the director. I make sure they are smart. And how do I do this? Since in my Simotech company, I have a big boutique that I open within Simotech that does inform. There's a boutique there. So what I simply do, I know the buying price from Kampala of a suit. I give them literally to give, like they're refunding back money to me. So I take them to the shop and tell them, this is suit, is the 300,000 selling price here, but for you, you just pay only 200, either 250. I can even tell them I'm topping up some money. That's my teachers. When you reach there, they look like they're the directors. The last time we did PLOE, the scout asked me, when you come here, you cannot differentiate between the head teacher, a teacher, and the director. Actually, the teachers are more smart than you even. I'm like, yeah, they are the face of the school. You cannot take your kid to be told by a teacher who has a torn trouser. What will a kid be learning? But kids are motivated when they see that the teachers are smart. They are so motivated to take it. So my staff is smart. You see guys walking and yeah, they look like they're having a science salary, but no, it is me who tells them what to do, and you see how to help them reach where you want. The school is ongoing. It is now a big school. I know by next year our target is only retaining the population that's there and adding more, because sometimes you may be adding and kids keep leaving. Pupils leave because your services are poor. You may just be advertising on radio, this school has this and this, you attract the people, but every year the teachers leave, the pupils leave. So you make sure the retention is worked on. How do we retain these kids? Are they being fed well? They are eating well? Do they find love at school? How is your nurse treating the children? What about you when you reach school? Do kids run to you or they run away? By the way, when I reach school and the nursery teacher is not serious, the whole class might want to come and hug me. And for them at school, they call me Uncle Simon. School, that's the name they call me, Uncle Simon, Uncle Simon, Uncle Simon. Every parent just says that, have you bewitched our children? I'm like, why? This child, they transferred me from this place. I told a child, now I've been transferred from Ngora. I need you to change the school. The child cries all night, like I'm not leaving. I'm like, so bring the child to boarding so that the child remains with his second father. So the relationship, sometimes we open business, then you become too arrogant. You forget that the customer is your boss. You'll be too arrogant to talk to them. When they give you a call, you're talking like you don't have time for them. Spare time for the call that you receive. The parent will call you. He can start by maybe complaining. Your work is to first listen. After listening, you apologize, then you give the right thing that, okay, I think this should have been done like this and this, but I'm going to talk to the teacher responsible, and I'm promising you that will change. And next time the parent tells you, oh, you really did good work. Everything is now good. Friends, when you start a business, you can fall in love in the business, but always have a mind to research more about that business, so that you're not left behind. Your competitor will have studied you, and then it comes, put something in order to fail you. But as long as you're keeping your vision, your mission, all the strategies are working well, you will not fail. I've seen schools that come in, my place, they buy good vehicles, they put there, they're like, okay, this time we're handling this guy. You're wasting your time. First of all, the pupils are many. You cannot finish them. One school alone cannot take away all the learners. Be consistent in the service that you are giving. I've been using small vehicles. Not until this week, I have purchased a Costa, a very good vehicle for the school, which I'm going to launch on the 25th when we're having our AGM and the graduation for top class. So I want now, you see, parents are going to leave this year knowing that transport has been improved. We now have a brand new Costa that is going to transport our kids. So how will they live? Telling me how a kid will see a new vehicle coming in. They have been with the small vehicles, and then the kid says, I'm not coming back. So always be to the point. Don't be diverted. What you have started, you are the one who knows, and then just make sure you share the structure with your staff, the management style, the shared values you share with your staff, the mission, the vision. everything. They must be knowing where are we heading, so that even if you're not there, your staff knows this is the direction the school is heading to. By this time, this is what we are expected to be, where we're expected to be. Then also, like how do I manage the staff? Like you see, down there, you'd imagine we're in a remote place. By the way, I come to Kampala, I look for good schools like Mother Manjeri. I look for those teachers and other schools. I take a teacher there just to give a talk to my teachers. Okay. And then people know me as a motivational speaker. I sit teachers down and tell them the salary I'm paying you is not enough. As you are teaching, be doing something. So you find that my teachers, either they have a salon running and they are teaching. You see? Either they have a smaller business in town, they are teaching. And I always tell them that, by the way, don't first run away from this job, because you need to still be feeding what? Your business to grow. And you can also be proud that you're employing somebody as you're also working for me. And that one has kept, because telling me a teacher was opening a salon not far from your school, how will he misbehave in your school that he wants to leave? You have given that guy that, okay, you are the one in charge shaving in a school, collect money for shaving to motivate your business. Hey, that person protects your business more than even you, because he knows, I don't want to leave. This is school. So if teachers opportunity to also grow within the same system, that's when you'll find that they'll be treating you like their brother, like that, not just harassing you. So we keep the school growing as Simotech also grows. So now you see Simotech Investments, from one sewing machine in a veranda in Ingora, today has produced a big school called Toto Asio, Nursery and Primary School. It has made me what I am today. I also have projects that I do, that I run, like you buy some some plots and so forth. All this money has come from these businesses. But as we wind up, I want to tell you that this country or the world lacks entrepreneurs. There are few of them. That's why I always say, but since I left that place where I was renting, after today, there's nobody who has gone there to start a business there. Why? As if people are not seeing what is happening, that you can grow from this place. And I'm telling you, anytime you're going to see me, I'm planning to rent back all that place and put a big poultry. And that poultry unit will be one of the biggest there. I want it to supply eggs to my school and other things. And people should be buying what? My products. So that's how we move. So my friends, I always want to tell you how the three things: have the power to start, have the power to continue, and have the power to finish your business. And then also in life, what has made me move on is that I have three people in my life. I have peers, people whom I talk to freely to make me happy. I have people who inspire me. Those people who inspire me, the people I look up to. And then I have what I call a midwife. You must have a midwife in your life. Midwives will force you to deliver success. After that, they leave you. I think you're getting me. All the women who have delivered, you know how midwife is tough when you're giving birth. But after you're giving birth, does she become tough again? She smiles, you are the one with the success, and she moves away. So have the three people in your life. The peers, people you sit in the evening and share your time, talk to them nicely, enjoy. After that, you have people inspire you. You can say, maybe so-and-so inspires me, meet them, talk to them. Don't be shy. I'm telling you, I have met many people. I have met the owner of YY buses. I've met the owner of Kakise buses. I've met Mike Mukula. I've met very many entrepreneurs just to discuss, to hear their stories, and they motivate you. Then I also go running that, okay, if for him, he has done this, I can also do this. So don't be shy. Go and talk to people. Those people need people. When they're talking to you, they be proud that there's a young man talking to them, not knowing that you have gone there to learn. So be open to learning from people who have invested in businesses who are successful. Even people who have failed, meet them and ask them what really happened. You'll see that they'll give you their stories, and then you work on that and you make it the way today. I'm happy to say I am the director of the school. I'm the director of Simotech Investments. You have always seen me on TV, and TV has hosted me and given me opportunity. Enterprise Uganda has taken me to do these other things and so forth. But don't forget to build your brain academically. As we talk, I have a degree in computer, in business administration. I have a diploma in computer science. I'm also currently, I'm in a second year, doing a degree in information technology and entrepreneurship. Because now my heart is in entrepreneurship, my heart is in talking to people, my heart is in motivating people, and you see the opportunities that come, Enterprise Uganda calls you, come and talk to people globally. Thank you so much, my friends, for listening to me. The contacts, my numbers, 0782 982616. That is MTN line. My WhatsApp line is the 0752 982616. Feel free, send me a message and ask on anything you want. Even if you want to come and visit Simotech, you're free. You come and visit, and all things will go on well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Simon, for that deep conversation and number of takeaways that one can pick from the conversation. The journey has been a long one, a journey of starting small, a journey of diversification, a journey of really walking this complex journey of entrepreneurship. We thank you so much for sharing with us, and we are really honored to have you. I think we have just a few minutes for a couple of questions. If you have a question for Simon, please go ahead and ask the question. You can put up your hand and we can be able to give you a chance to be able to ask that question and to find out. I mean, Simon, as he has rightly put it, he's still on the journey, and he has reached somewhere, but he knows that where he's going is even much further. So please go ahead and do ask your questions. Just put up your hand. I see Dennis. Dennis, please go ahead and ask your question.
Yes, thank you so much, Sebo. And thank you so much, Simon. That was a great exposition of where you have been, where you started, how you are doing, and your plans. That was so great. Lots of lessons picked. Now, mine is just a comment to Enterprise Uganda, that what you are doing is really great, but if we could have more of these people who are willing to share their wisdom, and you never know, many Simons could sprout out, and then of course it translates into growth of our country. I just had that comment. Thank you so much, Simon, and we'll touch base.
Thank you so much, Dennis. And as you have rightly put it, we need more of these messages out there. And Enterprise Uganda is going to keep trying, and the other ecosystem partners, we're all going to keep trying to push that agenda. We need more conversation. We need more engagement. That is something which we are certainly going to pick up, and you have rightly put it, and we'll try to see how to intensify. I see Rosemary. Rosemary, please go ahead and ask your question.
Thank you very much, Ronald. Simon, thank you so much for such an inspiring story, but also the passion with which you talk. You can see you're very passionate. Now, my question, you have since grown, and I wanted to know, one, are you registered with URA? What is your experience? Because we know, for those who attended yesterday's Global Entrepreneurship Week conference, the issue of taxation is always a problem. It is sticky. Businesses are afraid to expose themselves. So what is your experience? And hopefully that can encourage others to actually register their businesses and pay taxes, give Caesar what is due. Thank you.
Thank you, Rosemary. Charles, go ahead and ask your question. Charles Lagu.
Thank you, Ronald. And thank you so much, Simon, for the presentation. Thank you, Ronald. Yesterday, for us, some of us who did not make to Kampala, we were online, and the Zoom was very stable. Although we are very few online, but we really appreciate for yesterday. Now, Simon, thank you for the insights and the sincerity. Now, mine is, what are those, you talked about going beyond outside the box. Now, in our context, if I'm in agriculture, what are those things which you will, in your experience as an entrepreneur, without necessarily going to the routine, that one will do and take the path you have taken? If, for example, I am based in West Nile, what are those things which you can break barriers and transcend and also become as big as you can in the perspective of agriculture? I know you are in education and so forth and fashion, but in agriculture, what are those you can envision? Thank you so much.
Okay, can we answer that first, or we?
Thank you, Lagu. Jude, please go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, so I just want to say thank you, Simon, for the inspirational talk. My question, all right, from yesterday's discussions, I wanted to know, are there loans in all this that you have been able to push on with? And how have you managed it? Because from yesterday's discussions, it appears loans sometimes can actually put someone down if you're not very careful. Thank you.
Thank you. Simon, please answer those. Thank you, Jude, and thank you, Charles. And thank you, Rosemary. Let's answer those, Jude, and then Simon, please go ahead and answer those, and then we can have another round.
So we got a question from a person who asked about URA experience. One, Simotech is fully registered. What I simply want to tell people about URA is that when we are starting businesses, sometimes we don't get information about taxes. We just start. So, and it accumulates. When you delay to start paying for all the things, that's when you mostly get what? Affected. But if from day one, as long as you have got a team, just like you had yesterday, you have got a team, URA now knows you exist. So filing these returns should start immediately. And when you file without defaulting, it is not much money that you file, because you're only supposed to submit that you did not make profits. In case you did not make what? Profits. They will balance for you those things, and you realize you're paying little money every time you are paying. But sometimes we delay. It accumulates. First financial year goes, second one, third. By the time you're starting to get messages from URA, even if you are going to URA office, yet by those gentlemen and ladies are nice people. They are there and they are looking for work. So you go to them, explain to them. I've gone through this sometimes. There's time I also started, I didn't know much more. So when I went there, they told me, okay, we're going to do objections. They filed for me objections and so forth. Then now they keep telling me, okay, do it continuously. And if you listen to that lady yesterday, you can do most of the things now alone without you paying a person to do the things. Taxes are there. We cannot run away from them. And every successful business looks at the tax man, he'll have to look at you. So try to be compliant by doing this on time, not what? Waiting to be told to do it. And visit the offices. They are really nice people, I've told you. I've got challenges, of course, sometimes. But you go to them, you talk to them, they guide you. Thinking outside the box, as we said, for the agri sector. Agri sector is, I think, even the best, though sometimes you get affected by the weather if you're not using what? The irrigation. What I want to tell my brother, that whatever you are doing, somebody has already done it. You're not the first one to do. Many people are doing it, and they are making it because they are doing the thing. So also look for the people who have done, who are doing the thing that you want to do or the thing you are doing. Then ask yourself, how have they managed? What is making them better than the other? So this thing is about you also copy. Like I've told you about the tailoring. Just copy and see that you start. Then on the way, you'll realize I need to change this, I need to change this. So agric is not in a unique sector. You need to copy, do research on what you are doing, and share experiences with some people, and move. Let me tell you, with the tailoring, but you can't believe that I could leave my place, just go to any other place, pay for accommodation, just sleep there and move around to see what are they doing, how are they doing it. After that, alone, that night you'll be doing a lot of writing. If you get me, my diary, say a year ends when the diary is full, really full, a big diary. If I show you the one I'm using now, as big as this, but it gets full. Write it down and keep going back to your diary to read through what you wrote. How did you want to do it? What is not happening? Why are you not achieving it? But sometimes we just talk, we don't write anything, and we think the memory will keep. Our brains have a RAM. They don't keep things for a long time. And the power goes off, you lose that information. So keep writing these things and reading through them so that your mind is filled up with knowledge. Even just download motivational talks and people who are doing things. You watch and you'll see that things work out for you. The loans, by the way, I may be the lucky person because the tailoring business does not require a lot of money to start. And sometimes the way you present yourself to them, you can tell them that give me 20%. I start your work. So sometimes they end up giving you money for starting their work. That's why you see, when COVID came, I had just finished building that school. We needed to shift. And my friend, it hit. But because for me, I had not ventured a lot in loans. It saved me. My structures were there. I could just go in the evening, move around, and see that they have slashed, everything is okay. Pray around your compound, go back home and sleep. But borrowing money is okay. You can borrow it as long as you know the source, the flow of income that you can pay. Sometimes when I get a very big deal, I would rather pattern. I have people in Chieme there who are doing the same thing. That's why I've told you that you're not the first person. People are doing, just tell them that, okay, this contract is big. Can you do this? I also do this. Timely delivery, you get your money and you move on. But you can borrow money, but not from money lenders, because that one, the interest rate might be very high. I think those were the questions that we raised. Back to you, Roland. Yes, Ronald, those are the questions. In case there's another person, I think there is Sharon wanted to ask a question. Maybe Ronald's a little bit far. Members, from wherever you are.
Sharon, please go ahead and ask your question. I'll ask you to unmute.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. And Simon, thank you so much. This is a very inspiring story. It really gives a lot of hope to people. Now, my question is, in all this, I believe this has all happened in a span of time. How have you been in position to keep in check, not to be diverted, and then keep moving on year in, year out, you're progressing? Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon, for that question. Let me see what we have in the chat box. A number of people document and read. Risk management, entrepreneurship often involves taking risk. How do you approach risk assessment and management in your ventures? And can you share any cases of effective risk management where effective risk management played a crucial role? That's a question by Jolly. So you could, Simon, you could take those two and then we'll take a couple.
Okay, thank you so much. These are two important questions. How do I keep progressing, not being diverted? One, when you're starting a business, do you have a business plan? Most of us.
Simon, let me just also add Joel's question. What key financial principles should entrepreneurs prioritize to ensure the financial sustainability and growth of their businesses? And that's from Joel. So we could take those three and then we will answer them at a go.
Okay, thank you so much. I was just telling you about how do I keep progressing, not being diverted. Then I was like, do you have a business plan? That's a first thing, because that's your driver. Most people think because the business is small, it does not need a business plan. It is a projection of where you're starting from and where you are going and how you are going to reach there. So however small, like a project you are starting, write a simplified business plan. If you have that business plan, it will keep you off from diverting. And then, do you have people who check on your business? I have people whom I just call that go and check on that business. I'm not telling anyone that you are coming. So they'll go, move around, check and see, and then they'll advise that, okay, when I reach there, maybe your staff is not doing this, maybe this is not going well. Can you do this? Then there I come and address these challenges and I help myself see that the business progresses. So that's why I have not diverted far. You move slowly. After one venture, you see that it has successfully moved on. That's when you can what? Think of another. But you know, sometimes people, when they get money, I've told you, they get excited. They divert. They want to put the most beautiful salon in the town. They want to put the best boutique in town. But do you know how to manage a salon? Do you know the challenges that are there in running what? A salon? Do you know how much profit it can make? So you avoid those things. Have your business plan. Risk management assessment, risks are what basically we fear most in the business. And of course, they'll still say the higher the risk, the more the profit. But you have to see that how do we manage this risk? For example, one I've told you, I have now CCTV cameras in Simotech school. I mean, dealing with uniforms, but you have those cameras. Which risks am I trying to avoid here? First of all, I did not tell that when I started Simotech, within the two months, the thieves broke through and stole my things that I had put there. But I did not get very annoyed. Actually, I laughed internally and I told myself, I thank God it has happened when I'm just beginning. What about it that if it's now when I feel like I'm big, then they take everything, maybe I would break down. So there I learned how to have security for my place, the security in that place to avoid maybe thieves again coming out. And then the system that works, the structure. Who is receiving the things? When they receive, how do they document? Who is in the other side of the production side? Who requests for the things that they need to use for that particular work? After, do we look at the things taken and the output? Are they the same? Or you can know that this guy took a role, but what is giving me, the number of shares that have come in are not the same as this role. You should be knowing it. Be a businessman who is involved in your business, not just putting it there and you fold your hands and watch and think it will grow. Staff need to be talked to, need to be encouraged. And that's when you can see that the risk level will be what? Small. Then also delivery. For me, you will do all the work, but the team delivering, I must be there to deliver because I need to talk to that school bursar. I need to enter the teacher's office and talk to him and thank him for giving me work. You see that? That keep the relationship between you and the person you are supplying. Talk to them nicely and of course appreciate these people. Let me tell you one thing you don't know. I have a farm of turkeys, but I don't sell those turkeys. Those turkeys during Christmas season. Maybe Ronald will also get one this year. I use them for appreciating my people. I pick a turkey, I go to the teacher, I tell him, thank you so much, Merry Christmas, give a turkey. I go to Basa, Merry Christmas, My friend, don't you think I'm doing risk management here? So that I ensure that these people are also happy with me. Okay. Financial principles. Wow, this is where the challenge is. You say you're the director of Simotech, you're the sole proprietor or something like that. You withdraw money at any time, no accountability. This is not good. Every day, this what in the yesterday, you had the bread man. I like this analysis. He gets reports for yesterday today. Now, by day for me, before the Basa closes, in the evening, she has to post for me. If I don't go to school, she has to post the daily things, all the income that was there, even though I've approved documents, but she has to post what what she has received, the bank things and so forth. I look at them, summarize that expenditure of the day, every day. That has to be handled. And then, before I head to the bank to withdraw money, the BASA must be aware that we are withdrawing money for this and this. Even if I wanted to for buying my personal land, I will tell the BASA that, okay, I have the good deal, I have some land here they're selling. Personally, I have this amount of money, but I want the school to lend me this amount of money. By then, I borrow money from the school. I don't just speak. I tell them, lend me money, because I know you're not paying salary now. By the time salary is coming, I now will have gotten money to give you back. So you see, your own business, but you are borrowing money from it. Make your business separate from you. That's when it will grow. If you are taking your wife outside of your children, it should not be basically on what? Money. If my account, of course, I'll put how much money I'm supposed to spend every time from school. What directors, what expenditure. If I go beyond that, anything now, it has to either be borrowing money or I look for my own money. But don't just say there is money, you withdraw. You'll end the year and fail to pay people. Okay, so that's one thing. Financially, be disciplined with what? With your finances. Yeah, I think that's that. There you'll see that your business is sustainable and you will not have many problems. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Simon. Great. Let me see if we have any other hand. No, we don't, and our time is fast spent. Well, great. Simon, thanks a lot for sharing your heart with us. As Rosemary mentioned, the passion is clear. We see that you are in this thing, and we, as Enterprise Uganda, we are very proud of the work which you have done. Thank you for inspiring other entrepreneurs. Thank you for pushing and helping